Okay, we're still live at the Yankee Barn. So we're going to finish the guided practice, do the guided practice, and then maybe I can make it in the rest of the way to the game. Okay, so the guided practice, if we really look on our assignment, the guided practice we'll see is the whole front of the assignment. All you gotta do is the back. So, are you up for the task? Okay, the first six, we're just saying how they're congruent. That's all we're doing. How are they congruent? Well, let's see here. What do they give us? We have two angles here, a side in the middle, and then another angle. So the side is in between two angles. Which one of ours gives us that, or does it? ASA. So we can say that these are congruent by angle, side, angle. Next one. They have that side in common. But let's see. We have an angle here. They're both right angles. We've got another angle. And then we've got a side. For hypotenuse leg to work, even though I said it only works with right triangles, I have to have two sides of the right triangle. One has to be the hypotenuse, one has to be a leg. How many sides do I have here? One. So I can't use HL. Even though I know you want to, you can't. Because I don't have two sides. I only know one. But I do know two angles. And then the side that's not between them is congruent because I share it. So we can still say these are congruent by angle, angle, side. Next one. Again, I've got a right triangle. So the first thing I want to see is, do I have two sides? I do. Are they the two sides I need? Let's see. That's my hypotenuse. This is a leg. Looks like I got a right angle, a hypotenuse, and a leg. Yeah, boy. So these are congruent by hypotenuse, leg. Okay, number 4. I share a side, so I know that's automatically done. I share it. So they give me another side, and then they give me an angle. Is my angle in between my two sides? Yes. It's squeezed in the middle, smack dab in the middle. So yeah, it's squeezed in the middle. So we can say that these are congruent by Which one has angle squeezed in the middle? SAS. So much SAS. Angle, side, angle. No, that wouldn't be SAS. Side, angle, side. So it's congruent by side, angle, side. Okay, number 5. What do they give us on number 5? They give us an angle, another angle, a third angle. All they give us are angles. Do we have one that's angle, angle, angle? No. Remember, I said this the first day we looked at these. In our case, AAA will not be there to pick you up. So AAA ain't gonna pick you up. So these are not congruent. Number 6. Looks like I got an angle. I got a side right here. What's happening here? Vertical angles. So I know this pair is congruent because these are vertical. So there's another angle. So what's going on? Which one has side? Because now our side is squeezed in the middle. So which one has side squeezed in the middle? Angle, side, angle. These are congruent by angle, side, angle. Okay, that's the first 6 of the guided practice. Now we're going to do the next 4. So we're going to do 10 of your problems together. There's only 20 on here. So that's at least a 50. Okay, 7. We have segment DE is congruent to segment EC. So here we have 2 things we have to do. The first is mark the drawing. The second is fill in the blanks. If you don't do both, you can't get full credit. Now, if you're virtual, chances are you can't mark the drawing on the Google form. So, for sure, you need to give me the blanks. Okay. Let's just mark what they give us then. So DE, it's right there, is congruent to EC, right there. BE, right there, is congruent to AE, B. And then what's going on here around E? Vertical angles. So let's see if we can figure out a relationship. We have, oh, I need to remark these. BE and AE need to have 2 marks. There we go. Okay, so we got a pair of sides. We got another pair of sides. Our angle, is it in between the two sides? It is. So these are congruent by side angle side, for sure. Now, let's see how they name the first triangle. They say DEB. DEB. So I have to do something similar. I'm going to have to say CEA. I went along the one, they said DE first. So the single one first going to the middle. That means I've got to start the same way and go end up in the middle here. So that's why I've got to say triangle CE, and then all I have left is A. That's 7. Now let's look at number 8. For 8, they tell us E is the midpoint of KW. Well, if E is in the middle, what's that mean about KE and EW? They're the same. Then they tell us the angle KEG, so this one, is congruent to WEH. And that K is congruent to W. So if I do my congruent statement, KEG is the triangle that they name. They also put that up here. So I don't even have to think about the order of my letters. They just give them, they kind of give it to you. KEG is congruent to triangle WEH. By, well, now that's what I got to figure out. I've got an angle, a side, and an angle on that one. Angle, side, angle on that one. So that means they're congruent by angle, side, angle. Okay, next one. They say that NO is parallel to MP. So I'm going to mark that. Angle N right here is congruent to angle P right there. And they share a side, so that side's automatically congruent. Now, if MP is parallel to NO, that means I have a set of parallel lines cut by a transversal, which also means I have a set of angles that should be congruent. Right there. I'm going to erase these two. Because they're in my way. Okay. These are alternate interior angles. So of course they've got to be congruent. So they're another pair of congruent angles. That just looks like a mess right there. Hang on. Boom, boom. There we go. Okay, so that means in this picture then I have an angle, another angle, and then a side. The side is not in between. So that means this has to be then angle, angle, side. Now I've got to figure out how they named it. They said triangle MNO. MNO. So nothing, 1, 2. I got to do the same. So triangle, nothing is O. 1 is P. 2 is M. Triangle OPM. Okay, then we have, so that's number 9. Then we have number 10. So for number 10, they give us a bunch of information, but then look at our picture. Our picture looks horrendous. So they tell us, hint, draw them separately. So let's try our best to sketch these separately. So we can try to at least see what's going on here. So this triangle would be FSP. This one would be HRP. Okay, now let's try to see what's going on. Since they both have angle P in them, we know P is going to be congruent to itself. We know that. I'm going to go and even mark it because I know that. Now, they also tell me that FP, so this side, is congruent to HP, that side. Then they say angle F, so that angle, is congruent to angle H, that angle. So what's going on here? You got an angle, side, and then an angle. So that means the side is sandwiched in between the two angles that are congruent. Angle, side, angle. That's how these are congruent. Angle, side, angle. Now, we got to figure out our congruent statement. It says triangle PFS. PFS. Of course, P is congruent to P, so I'm going to have to start with triangle P. Then I went down on the first one to F, so I'm going to have to go down on the second one to H. And then my other point left is R. So triangle PHR is the first blank by ASA, angle, side, angle is the second blank. So that's the guided practice on the assignment portion. The back is your assignment. There's 8 to do. And then, oh, let's see. I got jokes. But I don't want you to get them wrong because they're jokes. So let's see. I'll give you 2 more freebies. Why was the obtuse angle upset? I'll give you a hint. This joke deals with angles. Why was the obtuse angle upset? If you want some time to think about it, maybe you want to hit pause, because I'm going to say the answer in why was the obtuse angle upset? He was never right. I'd be pretty upset too if I was never right. But just a word to the guys. The reason I know it was a he is because she is always right. So he's never right. That's how I know that's a guy. Number 20. What did the complementary angle say to the isosceles triangle? So let's see, what do we know about an isosceles triangle? What are these things called right here? I'll give you a minute to think about it. If you want to think about it, you may want to pause it because I'm going to release the answer in. So what did the complementary angle say to the isosceles triangle? Nice legs, dude. There's your corny math jokes for the day. So do the 8 problems up above. They're just like the last 4 we did. Remember to mark your triangles and then complete the statement. So hop to it and Giga Maggies.